Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Miami Dolphins taking on the Denver Broncos.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Four yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what a game he is coming off of.
Oh, unbelievable.
Absolutely, and you know how much I love the history of the game. He broke a record held by the Dutchman,
Norm Van Brocklin,
right? You got to go all the way back to 1951, and he threw for 554 yards in that game. And later, won a championship as a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles in 1960.
And now that record has been set anew. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run on first down. Hamilton, and this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down and score points.
You know what that tells me? They saw their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return for just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people. Rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Charles, they... Last week, despite him not running the ball well, they told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really won.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here, just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. People kiss it on the ground. That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On 1st down, it's Hamilton. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Hands it off out of the gun. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 5.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all of these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride. And
the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Complete. This is Mitchell. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And they give this time to the tailback. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Fights forward at the 20. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. But it's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out comes his field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he has not really been able to have a lot. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down now, it's Erickson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
That's into the hands of Edwards. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 125 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ward. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Four yards remain for second down. Looking to throw. Ward. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. Ward, a final shot before break. And that's incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington football team. The Washingtonians are able to avoid the 0-3 start as they pick up their first victory on the year. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football. That'll be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Ward. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Ward now. Throwing on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Miami. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback taking it in. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw, and that will be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
To throw is Ward. On 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught at the 2. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You can see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
The point after is good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half. get too emotional, they might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. They'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the... Dolphins 43. Again, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. He'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with the defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Here we go, G, get off the field. Hey, watch it. Check. Check. 19, Tiger, 19,
So that'll back him up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense.
Back to throw. Ward going to throw deep for the end zone.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Ward. Off play action. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 136 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Off the play fake. Ward. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert. On 4th down, and the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah. The pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
On 3rd down, Erickson. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man in concert.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos about set to go on offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Erickson, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will have a Broncos first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Let him know.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Outright, here's Erickson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Now Ward. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Miami. He went swinging for the fences on that play. Didn't quite get in the end zone, but, boy, they're set up pretty now.
Okay, that play just happened. Let it go. Time to defend the goal line, bring some all-out pressure, and try and knock them back.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Denver getting set to take the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm here all day. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I noticed you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, it's Turner. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his target, Harris. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Dolphins are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that is incomplete here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sideline.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And out come the Dolphins now. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your touchdown.
That's caught. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsau? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Turner. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly. As he stopped for no gain, 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Looking to throw. Ward. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he's able to take this one back to the 36. Yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 33.
And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Denver, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.